Week 2 of the Texas high school football season is here. Welcome into Friday Night Lights. I'm Curtis Quillen.
And I'm Matt Lively. Our first game of the week was a low-scoring affair, and this week's assured to be anything but.
China Spring put up 49 points in its opener last week. Lorena 20 against one of the best defenses in all of 3A.
Yeah, and last time these two played at Cougar Stadium 2 years ago, they combined for 63 points. No under there.
No under there and no under tonight. This year they both have sky-high expectations for their programs as they face off tonight at packed Cougar Stadium for the rivalry between these two former district rivals. 21-0 Cougars early in the third. Major Bowden faking Nicky out, keeping this one, looking like his brother down at UMHB. Off to the races, stopped at the 18. Next play, Bowden's pass is going up, and it is picked off with the user pick button by Reed McKenna. He robs the Cougs of a touchdown. It amounts to nothing for the Leopards, though. Late third, same score. Ryan Abel looking for a man, rolling, fires, and he finds Camden Brock for the first down. That's a catch on Sundays, too. Next play, faking the pitch, slings one up and down into the outstretched arms of Jaden Porter. Beautiful grab, 21-7 at that point. Yeah, Lorena's comeback falls short, 21-13. The Cougs get a big-time dub.
Huge.
And you know who had a front row seat to this one?
Every week.
Nikki Latarulo with the best assignment on the team. Yeah, Nikki, this was a good one tonight.
It was a good one. The China Spring Cougars come out with the win 21-13 over Lorena. So I'm here with our Week 2 Game of the Week champions. Coach Bell, here's the trophy. Congratulations, guys. You would think they'd be more excited, but I don't know. I'm not getting the hype. Coach, congratulations on the win. Did you can you breathe after that second half? What did you see? You guys came out really fast, but then slowed down the end. What did you see from your team?
Oh, really proud of them, especially defensively. They gave up two big plays. Besides those two plays, they're pretty locked down, and so extremely proud of that aspect. Struggled a little bit offensively, which made it a really stressful for us in the second half. But I mean, as a team win, and I don't care if it's by 1 or by 100. Like I told the guys, when we go 1-0, it's a celebration. So I'm excited and proud of these guys.
How important is it that you come out that fast, so then if you do slow down, you don't really have to worry about it?
No, absolutely. That was a big spark. If we wouldn't have had obviously the beginning of the game and the fast start, then we wouldn't have won the game. So that was a big time by our guys.
And how do you use this momentum going into next week?
No, there's a lot of good learning experiences for us. It's going to be a good film to learn off of, especially moving forward and find out kind of our weaknesses a little bit offensively, defensively, and in the special teams. So it's going to be a good game for us regardless.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, senior Braden Faulkner here, a defense player. How important was your defense tonight when your offense was struggling a bit in the second half?
You know, no matter what the offense does, the defense is always going to have their back. And, you know, we have this thing called Code Blue. Whenever something bad happens, we go out, you know, bring energy, try to get the guys going. So.
What were you saying to your team on defense getting those big stops at the end of the game?
You know, I was just trying to keep the energy up and trying to keep everybody's heads up. You know, some people look down, trying to bring the guys up and just on going to the next play.
And like I asked Coach, how important is it that your offense comes out fast in the beginning so it's not too much pressure at the second?
It's really good to get the jump on them and kind of get ahead. I mean, I don't want to say it gives you comfort, but it gives you like a sense of urgency and kind of to get going forward.
Well, congratulations and good luck next week. We will be talking more about this game later in the show, but for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Big time win for China Spring, a team with big expectations. All right, Nikki, we'll check in with you in just a little bit. Let's stay in 4A tonight. The Robinson Rockets struggled through 2020. Not breaking any news there, but it's now year 2 under Robert Rubel.
Yeah, and tonight the Rockets faced a good Whitney team looking for that first signature win under Rubel. Let's get to the highlights. Don't get used to that beautiful scoreboard because they hit the road for the next 3 straight weeks. It was a great start for the Rockets, getting Garrett Peacock out of the pocket. That's what Rubel said was key. The drive stalled there, but on the punt, it's high. Peacock doing the duties, punting or trying to. He actually recovers this thing, finds a man, can't get the completion though, so turnover on downs. The Rockets have great field position, but inside the red zone, the flip from Aiden Stanford can't get it to Trey Stout. That's picked up by Whitney, and it is Wildcat ball. From there, Peacock made it happen. 3 touchdowns through the air last week. He airs it out this week, finds Oren Green for this huge pickup, and it sets up the touchdown pass. Peacock to Jordan Newton for the first score. All Whitney from there. They win it 31-6 domination.
That is a big time statement from Whitney. Let's take a look at other scores from around Class 4A. Lampasas, no score reported. We are waiting on a result from Coach Troy Rogers right now. La Vega all over. Bishop done on 48 hours notice. 65-0 the final in Dallas.
That one's impressive. Gatesville couldn't get it done against Glen Rose, 41-10 the score there for the Hornets. And the Troy Trojans, almost, but not enough. Mejia Black Cats up 28-21.
Salado falls 32-28 against the Grandview Zebras tonight. And in 5A, our area's lone 5A University falls on the road 56-27 to Granbury. Private school action, let's go last night to the silos of downtown Waco. Eagle Christian facing new 6-man squad Ranger. First quarter, Eden Alexander gets the handoff, bounces to the outside. Nobody's going to catch him. PAT is good. That's worth 2 in 6-man. 34-6 Ranger on top. Next Bulldog drive, it's 3rd and goal. Landon Farmer taking the handoff and bulldozing his way in from short range.
Yes, sir.
Ranger now up 40-6. All Ranger all night. 62-12 this one over at the half.
And there's a beautiful backdrop for that
Yeah.
one. The silos of
It's an
Magnolia.
amazing backdrop.
Yeah, all right, we're just getting started on Friday Night Lights.
Next up, we dive into Class 6A. Keep it here. Last week, Belton got a massive road win to start the season, turning heads in the process.
Yeah, big time. Tonight, the Tigers return home, aiming to continue marching towards the playoffs in 6A.
Tigers hosting Round Rock. Yes, the same Round Rock that beat Midway last week for an intense test against the Dragons. And it's Round Rock who strikes first. From the 3-yard line, sophomore Mason Cochran. Yes, sophomore. Calls his own number, follows the blocking for the game's first score. Point after makes it 7-0 Dragons, breathing fire at this point. And they did a really good job of establishing the run game as well. This time it's Cochran to Travion McGoy K. And this time, watch him bounce outside. Plenty of room to run. Shoves the guy off of him. Yeah, 36 yards to the house, 14-0 Round Rock, and they're pulling away. Tigers actually turn it over on their next possession. Then, on their own 3-yard line, before the first quarter is over. And it's already 21-0 Round Rock, just like that. A convincing road win tonight, 35-0 is your final.
That's a tough one. All right, just a little bit closer to I-35, Magnolia West making a stop at Temple this evening. 14-7 to start the second quarter, and Mustang QB Brock Dalton hands off to Kaya Rocha, and the running back gets by everyone speeding into the end zone. Point after makes it 21-7. Temple's offense sputtering in the second quarter. They just couldn't get the ball downfield. Here, junior quarterback Brad Bennett does the pickup for the first down, and you can tack on 15 more after the late hit. Flag goes up there, but the drive would stall, and the Wildcats wouldn't score in the second quarter. The Mustangs tried a 42-yard field goal with 3 seconds left. Could he get it? No, not even close. 21-7 at half was the score. The Mustangs took it 27-14.
Last night, Killeen facing Pflugerville-Hendrickson. We all know a Hendrickson grad here at KCEN Sports. This one down at the field. Second quarter, Roderick Norman scrambling, finds to Corey Landors right down the middle. First down, Killeen trying for a field goal. It's blocked, returned deep into Kangaroo territory, and that sets up this on the next play. Alan Fournette, play action. DJ Pinkerton reaching out. He's got the touchdown. 10-zip Hendrickson at the half. Fast forward third quarter, Devontae Johnson into the end zone, and just like that, Killeen is within one after the missed PAT. Later, Emery Arthur. Remember the name, because he's going to do this all season. Straight up the middle, and he's gone. It's like Usain Bolt against me. 22-7, Killeen gets a win.
They got down in the game, but they never quit, and they played 4 quarters, and they battled to the end, and we come out with a win. I'm so proud of them and how they played and how they persevered and overcame some adversity tonight, because we were down 10-0, and they hung in there, and they kept playing hard.
You know who's got to be frustrated, Matt? Neil Searcy, because they still have another week of Thursday action. The Roos head to Waco to face Waco High.
That's one I'm looking forward to. Ellison was on the road tonight. Hey, I don't have a script for this, so we're just going to go candid play-by-play. It's our favorite segment. There we go. Ellison, not great. Not great against the Vandergrift Vipers. Sacked there in the back of the, not the end zone, I don't know what I'm saying. And then that's just a massive hit here. Ball's loose, still on the ground. Vandergrift takes it around to the other side. That was an incredible block. Oh, pulls out again.
That's not ideal.
They ate popcorn before this game.
This is a very good Vandegrift defense, though. Always has been, always will be, for as long as,
there we go again.
And there's the defense showing off exactly what it does. Anyway, you see where this one's going. Vandegrift, 31-14 winners.
All right, last week was not at all how Midway was planning to open its season.
No, but tonight the Panthers return to Hewitt to rebound and get back on track, hosting, yes, the Mojo, that Mojo, Odessa Permian in the home opener tonight. Midway, in scoring position in the second quarter. Reed Tedford hands it Dominique Hill. Yeah, just like that, 6-0 Panthers all as well, right? Well, the PAT is blocked.
No.
We don't show you special teams for no reason. That is a 100-yard return. Permian's Bryce Woody all the way to the end zone, 6-2 Midway on top. A little later, Permian finding its groove here on the broken play. Rodney Hall, quarterback keeper, 50 yards to the house. 8-2 the Permian lead at that point, a shootout, but Permian gets the win, 57-41.
Waco High returning home to host the Hippos of Hutto. Yes, that's really their name. And they brought the music with them, speaker outside. Down 13-0 at half. Lions showed some promise early in the first drive of the second. That was Thomas Chandler finding Jamarcus Carpew for the pickup. That has the Lions fans hyped. But on third down, watch out for Kenneth Settles. The linebacker gets the sack, forces a punt. And then on the ensuing drive, it went all Hutto. Junior Jalen Banks rips this thing through the hole, and this dude can fly. He gets into Lions territory, and the Hippos are hungry. A few plays later, Banks says, "Feed me." That puts the Hippos up 20-zip at this point. The final score in that one was 27-14 Hippos.
Comeback falls short for Waco.
Yeah. Don't go away. We have more Friday Night Lights coming up next.
We'll head back out to China Spring when we come back from this break. Keep it here. All right, we had a good one in our game of the week tonight. Not as many points as we were expecting, but a little pointier than it was last week.
Yeah, we saw China Spring get a big win tonight, and Nikki is still out there live. Nikki, tell us all about this game.
Well, I'll tell you guys, it was a big win, but by looking at the score, you don't really see the story of the game, I would say. China Spring scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, and then they scored the second touchdown off a fumble recovery, 52 yards to the house in the beginning of the second quarter. And then after that, China Spring never scored again. So their defense really had to do a good job making sure that they were making up for the offensive struggles for the rest of the game. But as for Lorena, they looked very slow and sloppy in the beginning of the game. Like I said, that fumble recovery that costed them a touchdown. But they came out of the locker room at half and looked like a completely different team. I don't know what Coach Biles said to them in the locker room, but they looked completely different. They ended up scoring 2 touchdowns, one of them a super long run, and then one of them you saw in the highlight, that one-handed catch that I'm going to submit to SportsCenter Top 10 because that was crazy. But they missed the extra point, which is little mistakes like that they were making, but I think if they played like that the whole game, this might have been a different outcome. So I'm not going to say we worry about Lorena because they did look good in the second half. But China Spring's offense explosive off the top and then kind of slowed down. Defense took over. So a big win there. Like Coach Bell said, when they go 1-0 each week, then they're happy with the outcome. But he said the offense did struggle in the second half a bit. But we will break this down much more and, of course, talk about other games in our area. But our game of the week didn't disappoint. It was projected to be split by 12, so it was closer than we thought it would be, I think.
Lorena covered.
Yeah, exactly.
Covered.
Well, Nikki, I have a question. I talked to Brian Bell earlier in the week, and he said that he wanted to get his kids hyped for this game. This by no means is a trap game because Lorena is a worthy opponent, but could you tell that maybe those China Spring players came out with just way more juice in the first half?
Yes, and the crowd, like the student section was so loud. This is one of the most hyped games I've seen for the past 2 years. So I think they did come out really strong, but again, slowed down the second half. We'll figure out why maybe in the rest of the coming season.
Look, I think it's safe to say Lorena's the best 0-2 team in the state of Texas, and like Nikki said, we will dive into that toward the end of the show. We are wrapping up the NBC portion of our program tonight, but do not go away.
No, bring out your notepad. Catch us on the live stream on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you there.
More Friday Night Lights. Welcome into the live stream portion of Friday Night Lights. I'm your traffic cop, Curtis Quillen, alongside Matt Lively. We will hear from Nikki Lattarulo in just a second. China Spring and Lorena are two offensively gifted teams in our area, facing off in our Pointsy game of the week.
Yeah, the only guarantee when they face off tonight, we thought points would be handed out left and right. One of Oprah's favorite things. That wasn't really the case, though.
No, it wasn't. It was kind of shocking. This year, they've both got sky-high expectations for the programs as they face off tonight. A packed Cougar Stadium for this rivalry. Former district rivals, 21-0 Cougars, early third. Major Bowden looking like his brother's hoping to do tomorrow night. Fakes Nikki out, keeps this one out of nowhere and all the way down to the 18, stopped by Colton Dale. Next play, Bowden looking, end zone, is it good? No, it's picked off, hit the user pick button, Reed McKenna. Robbing the Cougs of a touchdown, amounts to nothing for Lorena though. Late third, same score. Ryan Abel scrambling, rolling, looking like Eli Manning in the Super Bowl, and that is Camden Brock with a catch on Sundays. Next play, Ryan Abel airing one out, and it's good. Jaden
One
Porter,
hand.
21-7. That is a touchdown. Don't call it a comeback. It would fall a little bit short, though. 21-13, China Spring gets a big-time dub tonight. You know, we might as well buy her a house in China Spring because she is still there for us tonight. Nikki Lattarulo. Okay, we briefly hit on this before we went to commercial break. Lorena, they've got to be the best 0-2 team in the state.
Yeah.
I agree. Definitely the best 0-2 team in the state. I think now looking at the record, people aren't going to know exactly what went down to put them at that record. So let me refresh your memory. Last week, they lost to Franklin by a touchdown. Franklin also made it to state last season. So there's that. And then today, they lose to China Spring 21-13. But they got those 13 points in the second half and held China Spring to 0 points in the second half. So if they played the way they played when they came out of the locker room, whatever Coach Biles said to them, they need to do that going forward because they looked like a completely different team. In the first half, like Matt pointed out, Coach Bell said he had the team really hyped up for this matchup, and you could see that right out of the gate. They had 3 touchdowns within the first 15 minutes of the game, but then Lorena started getting more comfortable. They started figuring out the offense. Major Bowden likes to just fake the handoff and then just take it himself. So I think they started realizing that and just stopping him, and he wasn't able to get those long runs except that one that you saw that he ended up throwing the pick. So I think they were really hyped up, and then once they had that comfortable lead, things just started to die down and Lorena started to come back. If there was 5 more minutes in the game, I think the game would have ended up tie. So I'm interested to see how Lorena goes the rest of the season. I wouldn't say this is anything for Coach Biles to worry about. And then as for China Spring, they're as good as they are expected to be. I don't know. I think their offense just kind of, I wouldn't say got lazy, but I think Lorena just figured it out more toward this end of the game. But
That's fair.
they seemed happy that they got the
absolutely.
win, and I think they're ready for next week.
China Spring as good as advertised. We'll dive more into the Cougars here in a bit. Nikki Lattarulo making the big bucks tonight.
Don't go
Appreciate it,
anywhere.
Nikki. All right, one team in Lorena's district, and I want to point out, I was talking to a 3A AD tonight. They're terrified of Lorena.
Yeah, Ray Biles is tough as
team.
nails.
This is a really
Yeah.
good team, so don't think anybody's looking at that record. Yeah, you've lost to 2 top 10 teams. I imagine that Dave Campbell's will drop Lorena out of the top 10, but not because of anything other than the record.
Not many coaches schedule as tough as Ray Biles schedules
Right.
in the first 2 weeks of
And
the
these
season.
three, and Lorena's still going to be perfectly fine. One team in the Leopards district turning heads right now, the Academy Bumblebees.
Yeah, last week the Bees got a rivalry win over Rogers, but could the Swarm continue tonight?
We go to the Hive, and Academy is hosting Clifton as they look to move to 2-0 for the second straight season. Fast forward to the third quarter. Clifton opens the half with the ball. Robert Goodman on 4th down. Enough to keep the drive alive, but a few plays later, 4th down again, and Jacob Macias breaks up the Cub pass, giving Academy the ball. Next play, Bumblebees calling their shot. Casey Mraz deep down the middle.
Wide open.
Scout Brazil, watch this. He just walks in.
No, he looked
walks
behind
in.
him.
28-7 Bees at that point. They continue until the end. 35-7 your final. That's disrespectful.
Oh, man. Rockdale visiting Taylor tonight in the battle for the Highway 79. Rockdale QB with an 11-yard keeper after they run out of the tunnel. Here we go now. 11-yard keeper up the gut to the side, evading defenders and
run.
in. Yeah, that was great. 7-0 Rockdale. But Taylor would come back. You know I love big plays, and watch this one. It was a 50-yard touchdown. He airs this thing out on a line. Great stiff arm.
Throw.
All right. Some college talent there.
Yeah.
Arm extended, 7-7, and then I like big plays. I already said it. Let's get another one. This one is going to go for 60 yards, but in the opposite direction.
That's a big-time run there on
just
a
going.
screen pass. What a play.
Nice tackle there. And then Rockdale, number 11, yet again, keeps it himself up the gut, fighting, needs the offensive line. They get the win, 35-14.
Rogers hosting 2A powerhouse San Saba tonight. The Armadillos! First drive of the night for the Eagles. Handoff to Ivan Lopez, and he puts the exclamation mark on this one. 2-point conversion is good. Out of the swinging gate, if that means anything to you. 8-zip Rogers. After a San Saba 3-and-out, Riley Dalgener calls his own number, lowers his shoulder, powers into the red zone for a Rogers first down. 4 plays later, the handoff to Christian. Riley turns on the Jets, waltzes into the end zone across Texas. 16-0 at that point. All Rogers all night, 46-14.
Big time win. All right, one team that's been rolling lately, the Crawford Pirates.
You know, Crawford enters tonight having won 14 of the last 15 games it actually played on the field since last season started. Tonight, it would go to Bruceville.
Yes, Bruceville Eddy cheerleaders there. BE's Colby Tolbert. Short pass is picked off by Crawford's Colt Murphy, who has a nice run. That was late in the second quarter. Maybe a little horse collar there, but he stays on his feet. Look at him still go. Oh, and a spin move. Defender finally getting his name called. But this one through the left side and in. That would put Crawford up 20-6 in the second quarter. And then another Bruceville Eddy turnover sets up another pitch around the left side, this time to Cameron Walker, who takes it in for the touchdown. Crawford was up 27-6 at the half. The Pirates go on to win it 50-6.
Massive 2A clash in Bosqueville tonight as the Bulldogs host Holland tonight in Bulldog land. First quarter, Desi Cantu hands it off. Clay Baggerly, once he's through, he's off to the races. Nobody's going to catch him. That's a whole lot of green and a whole lot of glory. I lied. He got caught at the 15-yard line. Here, the JC Cheney takes the handoff around the outside. He can't find a hole, so he does what he does best and just powers his way into the end, down to the 5-yard line. That sets him up for this. Nicky gets tricked.
Ooh.
Yeah, Clay Pershey.
Love that stiff arm.
Handling it. Finding the end zone, 7-0 Holland at that point. Bulldogs going for the fake punt. It's a failed attempt. All Holland tonight, 24-14.
All right, last night, Axtell visiting Braemon one day after Rusty Reynolds resigned in a shocking move as head football coach. He wants to focus on his AD duties. Axtell kicks off with scoring on the option. So good it got our cameraman, junior running back Jordan Davis, with a lung buster for the Longhorns.
I like that.
Look at that. He just went all the way. Nobody in sight. Love to see it, but Braemon would answer. Freshman quarterback Braylon Wortham with the QB keeper. This one, he's going to high step all the way through.
Yes, waiter, reservations for 6, please.
Yeah, that's in the end zone. Back and forth we go. The contest is on. Longhorns now. Quarterback keeper Cameron Campos hooks up with junior wideout Chris Gackian. Tigers turn. Man, this thing went back and forth. Wortham wasn't done. Another touchdown. This thing was 22-22 at the break, but in the end, Axtell Longhorns get the win 36-28. Chilton hosting the Italy Gladiators tonight in beautiful Falls County, USA. Chilton's Jamarian Benjamin gets the ball stripped from him here on the opening drive. That's not how you want to start the game. Gladiator ball, long pass here from Jaden Saxon to Jalen Wallace. Hang it in the loop.
What a dime sets up this run here. Saxon, touchdown, 7-0, Gladiators on top. First quarter though, Pirates making a comeback, and they're saying, don't call it a comeback. Third quarter, they were then leading the Gladiators 28-21, and that would be your final. Chilton with a big win.
Yeah, I'm learning they run out again through the ropes at halftime. All right, Bishop Riker Cougars host the Burton Panthers at J.J. Curran Stadium. Burton had 6-3 at the top of the third. Panthers quickly taken down by defenders, but they would gain momentum a few plays later. Burton Vicente Velez hands it off. and he gets the touchdown into the end zone. Panthers up 13-3. Rikers Blake Brown now looking. No good. All right, Riker takes the loss 20-3.
All right, let's change gears real quick to our Gridiron Player of the Week. First one for the season. Matt, a massive performance in Rosebud Lot.
Massive is right. You would never know that Zane Ziner had not played a game for Rosebud Lot. He had a huge performance. Let's take a look.
Great team win. We all executed. It was just a great win overall.
Executing is a good way to put it. When Zeinert took the field for the first time at Rosebud Lot as a Cougar last Friday night, he hit 20 of 28 passes for 406 yards and 6 touchdowns.
If he's on, he throw the ball really good, and sometimes he can get out the pocket, and he's aware of what's going on, so that helps.
The stat line is made even more impressive when you find out he played just 2 series in the second half.
I knew it was going pretty well. I didn't know anywhere near the stats because I'm not thinking about that during the game until my stat guy brings me the sheet and I went, whoa, there's some good numbers.
There was no getting this QB to take all the credit. A team player through and through.
My O-line did great blocking for me. Receivers ran great routes, got open, and it was easy to deliver to them.
Zeinert's dad moved to Rosebud Lot this offseason to become a coach. Leaving Cameron Yo, the chance to work with head coach Brandon Hicks has been key.
He's my quarterback coach, and he helped me improve with form, where to look, read the defense, and of course in the weight room.
The way he controls himself in the pocket and keeps his eyes downfield, and you can talk to the receivers, they love it because even though he may have to escape the pocket, the play's never dead.
Could we see another performance like this one? His teammates say, count on it.
You expect him to have another performance like that this season?
I expect that from him every game.
Huge 6 touchdowns. We don't often see that. The high school record in Texas is 12, set back in 2018. I'm not sure. Coach Hicks told me that he only played 2 series in the second half, didn't want to run up the score, needed to get his rest, but Zane Ziner is a guy that I think could hit 12.
Yeah, no, and if this offense keeps rolling like it is, and we'll see their score here in just a minute, they might be able to do it.
Yeah, I really do think so. I really do think so.
All right, earlier tonight, do we have this? Let's go to area scores, actually. Georgetown, 63-39 winners over Coppers Cove. Harker Heights, 62-7 over Georgetown Eastview right now. West, 40-0 all over Tyler Grace Community. And then Groesbeck, 69-10, a really nice win over Rice there.
All right, and then we've got the Teague Lions getting blanked by Lago Vista, 28-0. The Cameron Yeomen, no win tonight. Belleville Brahmas, I don't even know if I said that. Brahmas? Ramus, okay. Well, they got the win. The Mart Panthers, their stadium is done, 42-7 the win. And the Rosebud Lot Cougars moving on, 41-8. And then Marlin, 41-0
over San Antonio Piper, brand new school there. All right, Thorndale takes down Snook, 31-6. Menard all over Bartlett tonight, 56-0.
And Valley Mills, no win there. Shanto gets them 35-6. And the Jonesboro Eagles, 41-0 over Perrin Witt.
Moving along in 6-man, Abbott gets a mercy rule win, 48-0 over Milford. Live Oak, same thing, 52-0 over 1A powerhouse Blum. Vanguard does the same to Round Rock Christian, and Parkview survives against a 11-man JV team in Keene, 34-13 the final.
I'm glad they did. All right, Holy Trinity, they are in the fourth, 26-20 over Chester. And then Central Texas Christian, we also have their fourth quarter score, 35-15 over Dallas Shelton.
All right. Good week.
Yeah, real good week.
Time to break some stuff down.
Okay.
You know what that means.
Hit me.
Let's go back to China Spring. Let's bring in our intrepid warrior herself, Nikki Lattarulo.
Are the lights still on?
Are the lights still on? That
Let's
is a
hope.
question, especially.
No,
they're not.
No.
Look, my first 3 years here, I cannot tell you the number of times.
The lights went off like.
Oh, look at the mosquitoes. Oh, no.
I cannot tell you the number of times that this
10
happened.
minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Let's start breaking down big picture tonight. Nikki, takeaways from China Spring in the game of the week.
Okay, my takeaway from China Spring is they deserve the hype that they're getting. I think Lorena is also as good as they're getting. It was just iffy to start. I think China Spring is good. I don't know again, how they'll compare to like a big powerhouse program like they lost to in the end of the season last year, but it's still so early to see if their offense could just carry through the game. They would have had like 45 points if they played the way they played in the beginning of the game. So I think they deserve the hype. Their defense deserves also a lot of credit because they held Lorena to no points in the first half and then also carried the weight of their offense struggling in the second half. So they deserve the hype. Definitely a top 10 team, but also Lorena, like you said, best 0-2 team in the state of Texas for sure.
All right, let's move up to Class 6A real quick. Let's talk Midway. They didn't get a win. This is a really good playoff team in Odessa Permian. They played better tonight, and that Round Rock team proved how good it is. Do we feel better about the Panthers?
Go ahead, Nikki.
I think so. Permian is good, but like they're not as good as the historical Permian team is. So I think it was a pretty even matchup. And the fact that they put up 41 points is a good sign compared to last week. But then also the fact that they gave up 57 points is also like the defense that shows that they're still a little bit struggling in that area. But I think even though they didn't get a win, it shows that they took what they learned out of week one and applied it and were able to get things moving on offense, but still a lot of mistakes like that, what was it, like a PAT fumble and then the return. So it's just like little things like that probably cost them a lot of points too. But I think Shane Anderson still it's like a whole new young team too. So I'm not worried, but I don't know if they're a playoff team, especially in the district that they're in. That's going to be really tough.
Too many toss-up games in District 11 6A. I wholeheartedly agree with you there. I feel better about this team. One, we saw just how good Round Rock is. I mean, we were really impressed with Belton last week. They blanked them at Tiger Field tonight. Two, you come out and you play better. You have a lead. Yeah, there's mistakes, but Shane Anderson has, he told us as the season was starting, it's a young team. It's a brand new coaching staff. It was a late coaching change, so there's going to be some bumps. They still have another non-district game, but they kind of start district play right into the meat grinder. So Midway still has some room to go. And like Nikki said, too many toss-up games as we go through.
It's a great point. That was a very late coaching change.
It was.
I mean, that 2-3 months ago?
Mid-June?
I think Nikki covered that press conference, and yeah, it was very recent.
When baseball season is over and there's still a coaching change.
Not great.
It's late.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stay in 6A. Temple tonight stubs its toe against the Magnolia West team. Is this just a sense of familiarity that is there whenever former Temple defensive coordinator Craig Martin is the head coach for the Mustangs?
It does not help Temple. I mean, when you know what's being run, when you know the system inside and out, it's not great. And he's returning home.
Right.
Come on, a little bit of.
I don't know how many years Martin was at Temple, but it was a lot. It was more than a few.
Yeah.
Nikki, are we hitting the panic button on Temple?
No, but also is Magnolia West like a really good team? Like not really. So I think they could have pulled out a win there, but I just think it's after last year's playoff victory, I think that people had high expectations, but then you still have to remember they're kind of like a small 6A playing against bigger programs, and then they have young guys. So I wouldn't panic. I want to see them play against district opponents first before we say it's a panic, because non-district is just you're playing against teams that are either out of your caliber or that you haven't prepared for as much as people in your district. So I wouldn't panic yet, but then once we see how they play in the first district game, I'll answer your question.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's everything you just said is extremely fair. Not time to panic until we get into district. And then once you start losing those games that have direct playoff implications, yeah, everybody, it's the SpongeBob meme inside his brain. Everything's on fire.
And just like this, you got 2 more weeks till district play starts for Temple. You have a non-district game next week and then a district-wide bye. So it's still some time for the Wildcats. Let's drop to 4A. La Vega, 48 hours notice, no problem. 60-something to nothing on the road. Thoughts on the Pirates? Is this just La Vega doing La Vega things?
Yeah, it's definitely La Vega doing La Vega things. They have no problem beating anyone. They beat didn't they beat a 6A school in week 1? So I think they could have an opponent come at them, and they don't really need to prepare. They just dominate they put up 60 points, held them to 0 points. Offense and defense, both explosive. Don Hyde has no problem there. We will see them all the way till the end of the season, I would say. You don't even need to talk about it. If you put up 60-something points and hold the other team to 0, no matter how, I don't know much about this team, but no matter how bad or good a team is, if you hold them to 0 points, that says a lot about how you play on both sides of the ball. So 10 out of 10 for La Vega this season already.
Okay, so let's wrap up big picture with Baylor talk real quick, because we've got Greg Jacobs on hold real quick. Buy or sell on Baylor tomorrow. What are we buying? What are we selling in the Texas State game? I will go first. Okay. I'm selling the offense. I have too many questions about the offense, mostly because of a lack of consistency. I'm buying Terrell Bernard. I think he's a difference maker in the middle.
I'm buying the defense. Dave Aranda, second year. That's going to improve. It was already on that track last year. But let's not overreact. This is not a tough opponent in week 1.
No.
So this should be an easy, secure dub with no issues.
Exactly. All right. Speaking of which, we saw Crawford get a big-time win over Bruceville Eddy earlier, joining us on the FNL hotline. The head coach of the Crawford Pirates, Coach Greg Jacobs. Coach, appreciate the time tonight. Congrats on a massive, massive win. How's the reaction in the locker room tonight?
Well, it was great. We started out slow, but we were able to correct a lot of mistakes the first half and really turned it around the second half. So really pleased with the outcome.
Coach, I think we're getting some. There we go. The cell towers are finicky. Yeah. Well, Coach, I mean, this is a good Bruceville Eddy team. You bring back some good experience from a team that goes to the state semifinals last year. But I know that you're a progress guy. You expect steps to continue as the non-district slate rolls on. Without giving away too much of your game plan going into district play, what are some of the things that you're looking to address with your squad in the next week or so?
Well, we're trying to establish a more balance in our offense, both run and the passing game, and really try to make a statement defensively, trying to find the right pieces to fit the puzzle. And so, like you said, it is a process for us, what we're working towards heading into district.
Hey, Coach, I want to know what you're feeding number 44. We're watching a highlight here. He gets an interception, and the defender is spinning, throwing dudes down to the ground. Very clearly a stiff arm. It's impressive stuff. I'm not sure what his name is, but number 44, what are you feeding him?
Well, he had his fast shoes on tonight. He played really well. He played hard, and really pleased with the outcome of his progress. But Coach Murphy's quite an athlete for him. Plays hard.
All right, Coach, congrats on the win tonight. We really appreciate you joining us. There goes Greg Jacobs, head coach of the 2-0 Crawford Pirates. Crawford, I mean, their record speaks for themselves. Yeah. Their only loss in the regular season last year was because of COVID, not because of anything on the field. Then they go to the state semifinals. I mean, that is a really good Pirate team.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And oatmeal? What's he eating in the morning?
I don't know. I want to know what his diet. Yeah, right. I want his metabolism too. Thank you guys so much. That does it for week 2. Nikki Lattarulo and I will be in San Marcos tomorrow for Baylor's season opener at Texas State. My man here headed to Crusader Stadium. He likes popcorn. Mm-hmm. That does it for week 2 of the Texas high school football season. Thank you for spending part of your week with us. For Matt Lively, Nikki Lattarulo, Director Rob Kelso, producers Samantha Cruz, and all of us working the late shift here at 6 News. Thank you for watching Good Friday Night Lights. We'll see you next week under the lights.